Welcome to Suthichai Live English Podcast. With the suspension order by the Constitutional Court for Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra, and also a series of cases awaiting former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, her father, it appears that the Shinawatra political dynasty may be in great decline and possible demise. The future of Thai politics is now at the crossroads. Big changes are coming, and either there will be a new election or the resignation of Prime Minister Thongtan before the Constitutional Court decides on the case about her qualifications or disqualifications from a leaked phone call with former Cambodian leader Hun Sen concerning a border dispute, raising questions about her conduct and ethics. Our AI team, Ping and Pong, will dive into the implications of the political crisis which is facing Thailand at the moment. Hi, Ping and Pong.
Welcome to Suthichai Live English Podcast. We are Suthichai's AI team. I am Ping.
And I am Pong.
Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a political drama unfolding in Thailand that really has implications reaching far beyond its borders. We're talking about the recent suspension of Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra and what it could mean for the future, maybe even the demise of the powerful Shinawatra dynasty in Thai politics.
Right.
Our mission with this deep dive is, well, to truly understand the immediate crisis, the potential outcomes, and also the broader historical context. Because this really suggests we might be seeing a significant shift, maybe a final one, especially for this family's influence.
What's truly fascinating here, I think, is that this isn't just about one person or even this one event. It feels like another pivotal chapter in Thailand's, long and complex story of political power struggles. And the Shinawatra family has been absolutely central, often polarizing, for decades. So now we're seeing what could be the ultimate test of their sort of enduring relevance. Is this just a bump in the road or something more fundamental changing?
It certainly feels like a high-stakes moment. The immediate crisis, it centers on Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra's suspension by the Constitutional Court. That was Tuesday, July 1st.
Yep, just happened.
And the direct cause. The leaked audio. A private phone call she had with former Cambodian leader Hun Sen, apparently, about a simmering Thailand-Cambodia border dispute. The court's reasoning was, pretty blunt. It basically said her staying in office posed a potential danger to Thailand, specifically citing the public anger that blew up after the leak.
Yeah, that public anger was palpable.
And consider this.
Yeah.
She's only 38. She'd been in power for just 10 months. A really short time at the top, and her whole journey is just so tangled up with her family's controversial past.
And to really get the weight of that leaked call, you need to understand a few details. She apparently called Hun Sen uncle. Now, culturally, that can be respectful, sure, but it also implies this personal closeness.
Right, maybe too close for official channels.
Exactly. It could bypass formal diplomacy. Some might see it as pragmatic, others highly inappropriate for a PM. But what really raised eyebrows, I think, was her referring to a senior Thai army commander as an opponent.
Wow.
Yeah. In Thailand, where the military is, such a powerful force, often the deciding one, with a history of coups, calling a top commander an opponent, that's not just a slip of the tongue.
It sounds like a direct challenge.
It could easily be read that way, a serious lack of deference. Now, she did apologize later, insisted her intention was over 100% for national interests, sovereignty, peace.
So the damage was done.
Politically, yes.
Yeah.
Especially with the military and its allies. And it hits harder because she is Thaksin Shinawatra's daughter and Yingluck Shinawatra's niece. Both former PMs, both kicked out by military coups, 2006 and 2014.
Right, the history looms large.
Absolutely. And the petition against her came from 36 senators. From the upper house, which is largely appointed, often seen as aligned with that conservative establishment, accusing her of violating ethical standards.
Ethical standards. So was it purely legal or more political maneuvering?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It always is in these cases. The lines get very blurry.
Okay, so she's suspended. The legal wheels are turning slowly. What happens next? What's the process, the timeline?
Well, the Constitutional Court, and remember, this court has a history of major interventions, often seen as a check on elected governments. They've given Petong Tarn 15 days.
15 days. For what exactly?
Submit documents and evidence, basically, to make her case. After that, the court investigates. It could mean asking for more evidence, calling witnesses. That's not going to be fast.
So no quick resolution expected.
Definitely not. The timeline is super unclear. I mean, look at her predecessor, Shweta Thavasan. He was removed last August, right? The court took nearly 3 months then.
Ah, right. But wasn't he allowed to stay in office during his suspension?
He was, yes. That's a key difference here. Petong Tarn is out, at least for now. Now, if we look at the bigger picture, if she is ultimately removed permanently,
Then what?
then Parliament gets together to pick a new prime minister. The rules are pretty clear. You need a simple majority. That's 248 votes out of 495 in the lower house, given the 5 vacancies right now.
Okay, 248.
And crucially, the candidates have to come from the list registered back in the May 2023 general election.
Ah, so it narrows the field quite a bit. They can't just pick anyone.
Exactly. It seriously limits the options.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. The political chessboard, right? Who are the potential players? Who could be the next PM from that limited list?
Right. So from Petong Tarn's own party, Suthichai, there's only one other name on that 2023 list, Chekazam Nitisiri. He's a former attorney general.
Okay. Has he said anything?
Yeah, he's publicly said he's willing to step up. And the current ruling coalition, Suthichai leads it, they have 261 seats. So on paper,
On paper, he has the numbers if the coalition holds.
if it holds, yes.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's not exactly seen as a hugely charismatic figure. It's not a guaranteed path.
Got it. And beyond Suthichai, any other familiar faces potentially in the mix?
Oh, yes. There's Prayuth Chan-ocha. Remember him?
The former PM ruled for 8 years after the 2014 coup he led.
That's the one. His party, United Thai Nation, is actually in the current ruling coalition. And despite everything, he still polled at 13% recently for suitability. He represents that more conservative, military-backed side.
Okay, so Prayuth is a possibility. Who else?
Then there's Anutin Chernvirakul, leader of the Bumjaitai party. Now, his party actually left the ruling coalition right after this leaked audio surfaced.
Oh, interesting timing. Sensing opportunity, perhaps.
Very possibly. But his party only has 69 MPs, so getting to 248 would be a real uphill battle for him. He pulled at just 10%. His party is often seen as, you know, a key swing player. They go where the power is.
So a few establishment figures, maybe some coalition reshuffling. But then there's this other name, the one who's actually most popular with the public, even though he can't be picked right now.
Exactly. You're talking about Nathaphong Rongpanyawit, leader of the People's Party. That's the main opposition, the successor to the dissolved Move Forward Party.
Right. And his poll numbers were huge.
Strikingly high, 31% in recent surveys as the most suitable PM, clearly the public favorite. But, and it's a massive but, he was not registered as a PM candidate last year.
So he's ineligible under the current rules for this parliamentary vote.
Precisely. And his popularity, despite that ineligibility, really tells you something about public feeling, doesn't it? Especially younger voters may be feeling frustrated with the system.
Absolutely. And what's his take on the situation?
He's been very clear. He's demanding they dissolve the lower house and call a general election. His quote was, "The best solution is to return the power to the Thai people and let them pick up a new prime minister."
A call for democracy, essentially. A direct challenge to letting the existing parliament sort it out.
It really is. It signals a desire for systemic change, not just swapping faces within the old structures.
Okay, this kind of political turbulence must be making waves in the economy. What are the immediate impacts?
Well, on the surface, they're trying to minimize disruption. A deputy PM, Surya Youngramkit from Suthichai, is acting PM, trying to project stability.
But behind the scenes, investors must be nervous.
Analysts are pretty much unanimous on that. A temporary leader, this kind of uncertainty, it tends to dampen foreign investor confidence. Businesses hesitate. And that could hurt the Thai economy, which is already slowing down a bit.
And what about things like trade deals?
Yeah, that's another potential casualty. It could seriously complicate efforts to finalize that free trade agreement with the U.S. You need stable leadership for big negotiations like that. So maybe not a crisis yet, but certainly a drag on things.
Which brings us back to Nathaphong's demand. Is a general election actually likely anytime soon? Or are there other priorities?
Well, technically, a caretaker PM can dissolve parliament. But analysts say they usually don't make huge calls like that. And right now, there's an overriding priority for basically all parties.
Which is?
The budget bill. For the fiscal year starting October 2025, it's making its way through Parliament right now, and everyone wants it passed to support the economy. They expect it to pass by the end of August.
So politics will take a backseat to the budget for a few weeks.
Seems likely. As one source put it, they'll try to make the budget bill get approval before taking any action, particularly dissolution of the House. It really shows you that Byzantine political maneuvering in Bangkok.
Complex games being played.
Always. Strategic delays, shifting alliances, standard operating procedure. And of course, you always have the shadow of a potential coup d'etat in Thailand. It's never quite off the menu, historically speaking.
12 coups since 1932.
Exactly. But it's generally seen as a last resort for extreme situations, widespread violence, total political breakdown. Things are tense now, but probably not at that level yet.
Okay, so let's pull back for the long view. What does this all really mean? For decades, Shinawatra populism defined so much of Thai politics. Is this latest crisis, is it the end of the line for them?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Analysts are starting to say this could signal the end of the Shinawatra clan's hold in Thai politics. Not just a setback, but maybe the final act.
I think the evidence points towards a major weakening, if not the actual end of their dominance. Pattongtarn herself, it's clear she hasn't been unable to connect with the wider Thai public the way her father and aunt did.
The charisma didn't transfer.
It seems not in the same way. And it's not just personality. Their party's policies, they just have not resonated as they did in the past. The old populist formula, healthcare, village funds that worked wonders before.
Thailand's changed.
Thailand has changed. You've got a bigger urban middle class, younger voters on social media, different economic concerns. That old playbook isn't hitting the same notes.
And the numbers back that up.
Dramatically. Pattongtarn's support. It plunged to just 9.2% in a recent poll. Compare that to 30.9% just back in the first quarter.
Wow, that's a steep fall. Why such a sharp decline? What's the key factor?
I think the key factor, and this is crucial for where Thai politics goes next, is the rise of other reformist parties. Specifically, the Move Forward Party dissolved, yes, but regrouped as the People's Party.
They offered something different.
Completely different. They championed major structural reforms, military, transparency, even talking about the monarchy's role. Things that really clicked with younger, urban, progressive voters. They fundamentally challenged the old patronage politics the Shinawatras mastered.
So people saw real alternatives.
Exactly. Alternatives offering a totally different vision. It wasn't just Shinawatra versus establishment anymore. There was a third way. One source put it very bluntly. The Shinawatras were under the illusion they could still capture the people's imagination. They cannot blame anyone but themselves for this crisis.
That's quite an indictment. A misreading of the public mood.
Seems so. It paints this picture of a dynasty, so dominant for so long, now caught between the old guard establishment and this new, energized, reform-minded public.
A tough spot to be in.
Extremely. Which leads to the conclusion that even if the Shinawatra name or network survives somehow, maybe as part of a coalition, its actual power, its cohesion, it's going to be far, far weaker from here on out. The ground has shifted. This suspension feels like a symbol of that bigger change.
So the question isn't just who's the next PM, but what kind of Thailand emerges from all this flux.
Precisely.
As Thailand navigates this turbulent period, what do you think is truly at stake for its democracy and its future, given these shifting tides of public sentiment, the enduring power of its traditional institutions, and, well, the potential final act of a political dynasty? Something for you to ponder as this story continues to unfold.
Definitely a lot to watch.
Thanks for following Suthichai Live English Podcast. I am Ping.
And I am Pong. We are Suthichai's AI team.
Thank you, Ping and Pong. And as we dig deep into the ongoing political turmoil in Thailand, we will keep you up to date on the possible options, possible solutions to the current crisis Thailand is facing. Thank you for following Suthichai Live English Podcast.